This podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. Your San Diego County Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Fix Auto. Corky's Pest Control. And Lolita's Family of Restaurants.
Hey there, sports fans.
What's up, guys? We're back.
Well, we back. And we kicked Tommy Morris out of the studio because who needs a host when you've got two analysts?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to analyze the heck out of the Division II brackets today. Aaron?
Yes.
I would like you to just give me one word to summarize the opening round of these Division II playoffs.
Blowouts.
Blowouts. Yep. See a couple of lopsided scores up there. That's because the seeding actually works in Division II. It gets a little wonky sometimes in D1 with the open division teams going up, but this is pure and true, and these are the best of the best in Division II going at it. We're going to break down all of the semifinal games now and quarterfinals. That's right, true. Quarterfinals. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I've actually already seen this round.
Call him Miss Cleo.
Yes, I looked into my crystal ball, and I have already seen who wins in baseball. I'm already on spring season. So let's get to it. Very first game, Canyon Crest taking on La Jolla.
All right.
This is the red and black night of the entire playoffs.
No Crips allowed.
All right, I'm going to not say that.
He can't touch that one with a 10-foot pole. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the Ravens and the Vikings. The good ship Vikings surprised me. I picked Valhalla to win. La Jolla held serve on their home court, which obviously we know from my colleague here, they have a very strong home court advantage. So congrats. Now what's your consolation prize? You move on to face top-seeded Canyon Crest, who decided to wake up after this after halftime and blow the doors off of Del Norte. Believe it or not, folks, this was a 21-17 game with Del Norte leading at halftime.
I can believe that. Your playoffs, you get some teams just shoot all their bullets right out the gate.
Got to shoot your shot.
Then you punch back, and it's over.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm picking Canyon Crest in this one. I think the Ravens really woke up from that first half nadir. I think that Ryan Michaels, Tyler Elsom, they're having really solid years, and I think that MJ Metz provides the resistance on the inside against Charlie Gao. Charlie has had a really good junior year. He's carried this team after the loss of Reed Farley, obviously, which changed their fortunes dramatically. But I think the season ends for the good ship Viking, and I think Canyon Crest rolls into the semis.
This one is hard to pick, but you know what? I already picked against La Jolla once, so I have no problem picking against them again. I think Canyon Crest will also get this done. I think it's going to be close, though.
Okay.
I agree with you saying Ryan Michaels' name in association with Canyon Crest, mostly because he plays on that team and not any other team in the county, but also because this is him finishing the book on what exactly his legacy is. And I believe that he is a good enough player and an underappreciated enough player that he needs to go out a champion. And I think that he has the ability to do it. Looking at this bracket, it's going to be, every round is going to be tough, but I believe that Ryan Michaels and Canyon Crest deserve that one seed and it's their tournament to lose. It's not anyone else's to lose. It's theirs to lose, everyone else's to win. But I'll say this, La Jolla, man, they are an underappreciatedly physical team. They've got Daniel McCall, they've got Charlie Gao, they've got size on the inside that can give you some fits sometimes when you have an established offense that you're trying to run.
They beat you up, no doubt about it. Yeah, really physical team. The lack of a point guard sometimes, is a little overblown when it comes to them because they have multiple guys who just initiate the offense and get it going. But on the defensive end, I mean, they'll either foul out or you're leaving with a couple of bruises.
But the most physical game I saw all season long was La Jolla Madison. And that by the start of the third quarter, Charlie Gao was out with a rolled ankle. Dante Grady on Madison was just back to football form, tackling people. Like it got physical. So this La Jolla team has the ability to get out there and get after it a little bit. I'll say this though about the La Jolla team: this is more about next year. This is Reed Farley ripped the rug out from underneath them, and now they're building for next year. So everything we see in the playoffs now is more telling us how Charlie Gall and company are going to do as a senior squad next season. But Canyon Crest gets it done tonight, in this first round. Tommy, how do you see it?
La Jolla surprised us, but I'm going to go with Canyon Crest here. Good job, La Jolla, getting past that first game against Valhalla, but I've got the Ravens.
Okay, so the other one, Patrick Henry, Orange Glen. I kind of like this. We got the all red and black game. Now we've got the all patriotic game. Yeah. Very themed in the Division II round. Which Patriot's going to come out on top here?
I'm picking the Patriots.
Okay, Belichick, giving me some just ambiguous answer.
Yeah.
Come on. Sure. Give me the real. What does your heart tell you about this game?
Would you like me to give you the Greg Popovich answer? Both teams play hard. Nah, you guys know I'm verbose, so I'm going to give you the breakdown. I'm picking Orange Glen in this one. I was at the Orange Glen versus Oceanside game last night expecting to see, Orange Glen struggle a little bit against a team that provided some size on the interior. And Orange Glen, of course, down two of its best players. Trevor Owens with a torn ACL and Gabe Macias with a dislocated kneecap. What I ended up seeing was a team that had more depth than I expected. Want to bring a guy's name to everyone's attention that we haven't talked about, Dwop Chul. Dwop Chul. Dwop is the Alaskan native cousin of Core Tut, who was a star at Orange Glen 5 seasons ago. Core is at Miramar College. His older brother, Dorr, is actually headed to Humboldt State on a Division II basketball scholarship. Dwop is a player in his own right. I didn't expect to see that. He had 24 points and was just absolutely lights out from three. So he slides into that role vacated by Trevor Owens quite nicely. And then, of course, Michael and Devin Diaz, Damian Miller, doing what they've been doing all year. Stout on defense, fast on offense, playing in the half court, playing in transition, and really just took apart an Oceanside team that I expected to give them a game. Patrick Henry, on the other hand, really did seem to reel from the loss of their star Christian Choice. Horizon led the first 3 quarters, were up 2 on the verge of winning before Josh Burton finished the game with a slam dunk. I've heard it was at or near the buzzer, and then they ended up winning the game in overtime.
Another proof of why we have no way to give out game balls, because everyone deserves it.
Everyone deserves a game ball. With that said, I think Orange Glen now all of a sudden, looks a lot better than you expected a week ago with those injuries. I'm picking the Orange Glen Patriots.
I think this one's a really interesting matchup out of when we were talking before all these rounds started. You were lamenting the loss of talent in this side of the bracket, how Patrick Henry and Orange Glen and La Jolla, and there was some missing pieces. Now that 2 teams that have missing pieces are meeting, it's kind of a different story because we saw different players rise to the occasion, like you said. So I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to take Orange Glen to roll in this one. Tommy, how do you see it?
Orange Glen with a huge statement win against Oceanside in the first round. I got them moving on to the semis.
All right, on to the other side of the bracket. We go to, let's call them just DunkCity.com.
Seriously.
Just the team formerly known as Helix, and they're taking on Serra, the Q-Dog Special. Aaron?
Well, I love that black fraternity reference. But let's go back to Dunk City and Helix. Now, remember, this is a rematch of a game that happened earlier this year, the championship of the Sweetwater tournament. Helix led for the first 3 quarters, and then Serra just unleashed this unworldly defense that completely stymied Helix's offense. They ended up winning it by, I think, 9 points, 57-48. Just ran away with it. That game's irrelevant because Miles Norris didn't play. So it's almost like that. I'm all about obscure movie references, but it's all about that scene in Matrix Revolution where Seraph, tells Smith that he's beaten him before. But now there are 72 Smiths and one Seraph. Not going to happen. This is exactly what happens with this Helix Serra game. Yes, you beat them before, but no, you did not have to face 6'10" Miles Norris in the middle. He's a game changer. I'm picking Helix.
I'm going to go ahead and skip out my planned movie reference to Night of the Living. I don't know. I was going to make any movie references. I don't have the encyclopedic knowledge that you do. All I know is that I go on Twitter every now and then, and Tayshaun Cherry from Saints, I think he summarized Serra's opportunities to win this game. Let's go ahead and pull that tweet up. You mentioned the vertical size of Miles. And not everybody on Helix needs to be 6 foot plus to dominate.
It can be your height and dunk.
They can be shorter than me. They can be closer to Tommy's height and dunk. So, I mean, I don't see any way this game's even close. I think Helix is gonna have to dial it back in the fourth quarter because they feel bad. This one's gonna be a blowout. Go Helix. Our last game in the bracket, Westview, Rancho.
You don't want to hear Tommy's take?
Oh, no, it doesn't matter. We already know who Tommy's. Okay, I'm just kidding. Tommy, how about you?
Miles Norris, man. Give me Helix.
Okay, Aaron, the last game in this bracket has already been played a couple times this year.
Yeah.
Westview, Rancho, Bernardo. Westview coming off a tight win over Scripps Ranch. Rancho Bernardo
on Scripps Ranch.
At Scripps. Rancho Bernardo coming off an expected big win over Sweetwater. Break it down for me.
Now, we talked about common opponents, facing each other in this next round. Flash back to about a week and a half ago, Westview gave Rancho Bernardo all it could.
Took him down to the wire.
Yeah, took him down to the wire. And Ben O'Coden had a huge game, 33 points. Now, I think that obviously playing at Rancho Bernardo will make this a little different. And then also you have to take into account that Knox Winkler is really rounding into game form after missing so much of the season with that ankle injury. And I think that's really going to be the big game changer for Rancho Bernardo, is actually seeing Knox Winkler as close to 100% as we've seen him all year. You pair him with J.J. Overton, and you have one of the most devastating 1-2 combinations throughout the county. And Ben O'Coden, to his credit, went into Scripps Ranch and put on an excellent performance to keep his senior season alive. And I'll say this about Westview. This is a team that in about 2 years, or maybe even next year, will be in the top 10 to 15 in the county. They've got a junior class that's solid, and their sophomore class is very good, ladies and gentlemen. So the Wolverines are arriving a year ahead of schedule, but I think that it ends at Rancho Bernardo. I don't want to say it's a blowout, but I think it's going to end up being about 10 to 12 points. But it's going to be one of those games that's closer than the final score will indicate.
I'm going to disagree on final score. I'm going to agree on end result. I think we see basically a repeat of the game that they played a week and a half ago at Westview. It's going to be a back and forth battle down to the last minute. I think RB is going to win probably by like 4 or 6. Okay. I think, though, that ultimately J.J. Overton is just too much to handle. You can talk about O'Coden and Westview having great talent, and to go into Scripps, that's a big win. That Scripps team can shoot the lights out, but the physicality and speed of Overton, ultimately, I think that if things start getting out of control, you can hand it to him and just say, JJ, take over. So go get a bucket. Side note on JJ, he's going to be on our next episode as a top recruit. So go check that out. Tommy, how do you see this game?
Congrats on the Wolverines. They've really come on late in the season. They've looked really impressive in their last few games, but got to take the Broncos in this one.
All
right, Aaron, that wraps up Division 2.
Yeah.
Folks, let us know what you think of the results.
We picked the favorites. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 in the semis.
So we look forward to being proven wrong and some upsets happening and some more buzzer beaters happening. And bottom line is the playoffs are epic. Yep. So thank you guys very much for being a part of our playoff coverage, and we hope to see you at a game.
Yep.